hour is here.
Check it out.
And you're locked on to Utah's highest rated, most listened to sports radio station.
It's my station. It's my station.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, let's get it. Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is a Tuesday. It's a jam-packed, let's get it done Tuesday. Hope you're all having a tremendous day. Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Scotty, but it sounds like you've had a rough night.
Oh, I've had a rough day.
A rough night to a rough day.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so I want to be really careful on this because had we been on the air at 10 a.m. this morning, I think I would have taken a different vibe. But cooler heads have prevailed. I've been told to don't air a ton of dirty laundry because, you know, there's a lot of things behind the scenes, and I don't want to wreck any relationships that Clay or anybody may develop in the future. So these guys are not current advertisers with us. But I will say this, Burt Brothers, get your butt to Brigham City. I needed a good Burt Brothers this morning.
Yeah, because you know they won't finish you.
They're not going to screw me over. All right, so last night, Utah State wins the game, and I'm driving home. I'm at the mouth of Sardine Canyon on the Wellsville side, and this car in front of me runs over a deer. And I thought they'd hit the deer. Actually, what they did was the deer had already been dead. They ran over the carcass. And I was behind them a couple paces, and so I didn't have time to swerve. So I went over the deer as well. And
How fast were you going when you hit it?
Probably close to 60, 65.
Oh, so did it pop the car up a bit?
Yeah, it popped up quite a bit. And then all of a sudden you hear you feel the car moving around. I'm like, okay, I got a tire.
You knew you jacked
So if you're saying 65 on air, that means it was probably like 85.
80? No.
85.
I can't remember. But so
that wouldn't be the worst thing that was admitted through Sardine Canyon. Oh boy.
Okay. Anyway,
that was trouble.
Yeah, that was not a good moment. So I pull over, and I've got both driver's side tires, front and back, are flat. They blew. They're done. And so I'm like, well, one tire I can change. Two, I don't have two spares, so
you're screwed.
I'm in trouble. So I call roadside assistance to come out and get a tow, and that took forever.
1 o'clock in the morning?
1 o'clock. By the time I finally get towed and I take it into Brigham City, we go into Brigham City, and I tell the driver, he's like, well, where do you want me to drop you off? I'm like, I got to be in Salt Lake at noon. So I need to be out of here at 10 a.m. last minute possible. So who's open the earliest? And he's like, okay, there's one place that opens pretty early. I'll take you there. So he drops me off. I sleep in my car. I dial back the seat. I can't sleep for crap. So I'm working on maybe 30, 45 minutes of sleep right now.
So you're batting your eyes at about 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
This is after, of course, Utah State takes care of business.
Oh, yeah. Great game last night. They looked really good. I know it's Westminster, but we'll get into that. And so finally, they open up, and I'm first in line. I'm like, all right, guys, I got 2 tires. I need to buy a couple tires, and let's go.
Quick and out.
Quick and out.
If you got used ones, I'll buy those. I don't care.
I said that, used, whatever. And they're like, oh. So, and I'm like, and here's my mistake, is that I said I have to be out of here fast. I have to be in Salt Lake at noon. I have to be out of Brigham City by 10 a.m., bar none. That's it. I have to. That's where I screwed myself because I told them I was on a deadline. And they're like, bam, we got him. We got him. So
put him over the barrel.
So they said, well, okay, so we've got 2 tires that would match the other 2 tires, but they're not going to get in until maybe tonight or tomorrow morning. So, you know, you'd have to miss your appointment in Salt Lake. And I'm like, all right, what else you got? He's like, well, if we don't match those 2 tires, then we have to sell you 4 tires. I'm like, no, you don't have to sell me 4 tires. You can sell me 2.
This is a Felice job.
Oh, totally. And they knew it. I knew it. It was like one of those where you're just like, all right.
This story is so disgusting.
Oh, it's
and you know what? It's become so typical of tire places.
Oh, yeah. And so, like, I'm like, all right, I'm not buying 4 tires. I'm like, give me 2 tires, and then I will replace them myself. And they're like, Well, we could do that, but legally we're not allowed because of liability issues to allow you to change tires on our private property. Because, if something happens with the car, then we're responsible. So, yeah, we can't let you do that. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get these 2 tires, and you don't need to sell me for it. Just put the 2 on there. I will assume responsibility. You want me to sign something? I will. And they're like, well, let's see your owner's manual. So they open up my owner's manual, like, well, it says here we have to replace 4 tires. They will not let you. I'm like, who will? Is there like a demigod of cars that will come down and strike me with a thunderbolt if I only replace 2 tires? Just give me the 2 tires. Like, sorry, man. And I'm like, all right, look, then I'm going to go somewhere else. They're like, well, hey, if you want to call a tow truck and wait another hour and a half and pay the tow truck to take you to another place.
So dirty.
They're probably going to tell you the same thing. And in my mind, I got my clocks ticking. I'm like, well, I got to get out of here at 10. And so I'm like,
this is so dirty.
And so they had me. They absolutely had me. And like, I feel like I got, I'm trying to think of the right word. I got taken advantage of.
Yeah,
I
did.
know I did. He knew he was taking advantage of me. I knew I was being taken advantage of. So I'm like, fine, just give me the 4. Let's go. I just need to get out of here. I'm done. Called my insurance agent. He goes, hey, you got comprehensive, coverage that'll take care of this stuff. We'll handle half of it, and we'll be okay. And so I'm like, fine, whatever. Just put the new tires on. I want to go. Well, 45 minutes later, it comes out. I was like, hey, bro, your wheels are bent, and we got to replace those, and they've got to match all 4 tires, so we got to.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Yeah.
So you had to buy new wheels?
I had to buy new wheels.
Wait, 1 new wheel?
No, 4 to match the 4 tires.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
We're talking about thousands of
Oh,
dollars.
yeah. No, I dropped 2 GER this morning. And here's the thing, like, I
want to hammer this place so
I
bad.
do too. I do too. I want so badly. But I know, like, I had a really good friend of mine who worked at a rock station who went scorched earth on a place once, and then they got sued in the state. Like, I'm not going down.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Here's all I want to say. Like, I am blessed beyond measure to live a good life where I can absorb a hit like that. I'm not happy. I'm disgusted. I feel ashamed in myself because I put myself in a bad position where I got taken advantage of. He knew he was taking advantage of me. I knew I was being taken advantage of, and I took it. But there's a lot of people out there that $2,000 will wreck them, absolutely wreck them. And these slime balls of the earth are out there just headhunting, looking for opportunities to just screw somebody over.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that would walk in there and wouldn't know the difference of what they're saying.
Yeah, and I knew, like...
And they would just totally take advantage of them.
Yeah. Oh, and then they were like, well, you sure you don't want to get the better tires because they'll go longer and they're better in the snow and it looks like you drive through Sardino. I'm like, shut up. I will take the very cheapest tires you have.
Now, can I interest you in a warranty?
Oh, my gosh. Lloyd, Lloyd called me and I was so hot and I'm like Lloyd claims that I ignore his phone calls. I don't. But this one I did because I'm like, I can't tell the story twice. I can't do it. Like, I got to say it once, get it out there, and then I'm done. Because I am beyond irate over this. Beyond irate.
Yep, that would put me over the top. And I remember the first time I got a call. It was one of my kids popped a tire, and I got a call from my kid, and they were like, they're not letting me leave unless I buy all new tires. And I was like, what are you talking about? You got 1 bad tire. They're like, yeah, but they're saying I have to buy 4. They have to sell me 4 or they can't let me out the door. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
I just had this happen, by the way. I hit a freaking boulder in the freeway, and I only bought 1 tire.
Well, here's the thing. I could have waited. And they're like, hey, you know what, if tonight or tomorrow. And here's my mind. I'm like, I have to be on the radio, like at noon. Like, I have to be on the radio. I'm not going to sacrifice the radio show and not be on the radio because I'm waiting for tires up there. And then I get eviscerated by you guys.
We would never.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
we wouldn't.
Yeah.
Hey, things happen, Scotty. We
and
understand.
I even videotaped the 2 tires this morning. I'm like, I'm not even going to a golf tournament this morning.
Yeah, I saw the tires. They were pretty beat up.
Yeah.
But it didn't look like your rims were beat up.
They were bent. Like that one, I actually will concede on that. But I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I hate when I hear stories of people being taken advantage of. And I got taken advantage of, and I took it. And I'm embarrassed of myself, but I'm just like, just do it. Just do it.
$1,000.
What else are you going to do?
Like, that's the thing.
You can't do anything.
And the guy was like, hey, we don't need to sell you the tires, but, you know, you can hire a tow truck and pay them to take you somewhere else. Like, they're like, hey, it's either 4 or nothing, and we're good either way, but you know, it's up to you. And I'm like, okay, well, the last tow truck took me another hour and a half. These guys are probably in cahoots with the tow truck driver, and we'll tell him, like, hey, charge this dude like $200-$300
and take your time
doing it.
Yeah. He's being a jerk here.
Yeah.
He's being real difficult.
And so I'm like, okay, I was literally thinking to myself, I don't know what else to do. Oh, and by the way, they tried to keep the 2 good tires, and they're like, you know, we can't let you have. I'm like, put them in the back. I'm like, I will resell those. These are brand new tires. I bought that vehicle just a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
or a couple months ago. It's only got 4,500 miles on the vehicle. 4,500
tires are like new.
Those tires are brand new, and they're like, oh, we're not supposed to give those. I'm like, shut your damn mouth and put them in the back.
Not supposed to give them to me.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, well, we'll cut you solid and we'll let you keep them.
I'll tell you, don't tell anybody.
Thanks, don't tell my manager.
And we're going to give you your $500 tires that we were going to keep and sell.
Oh yeah,
you know that.
Oh, absolutely. In a second, they're like, yeah, they would have flipped those things.
To the tire people out there that are dirty. Screw you.
Yeah.
I hate you.
I hate you. I hate everything about you. I hope nothing but bad things happens to your business.
And to the people out there driving that have been took by tires, we feel you. It sucks. It is a miserable experience. And they put you over the barrel. They knew they had you.
Look, if it would have been a Saturday, or if it would have been just a normal day where I'm not on the, a day where we're not doing radio or whatever, I would have waited those dudes out all day. I would have just sat in their parking lot and been like, nope. I'm going to wait and wait and wait till you get my tires in, and we're going to do this the right way. But, you get yourself in a bind, and they knew I was in a hurry, and, yeah, there you go. So, by the way, shout out to my guy David at Bear River Insurance. He's like, hey, we'll get you. We'll get you covered.
They'll figure something out.
Yeah. So.
Sorry about that, buddy. But at least you had a good game to call.
Good game to call. Yep. Utah State looked.
If you had a loss and
had
this go down.
Yeah. Oh, one more story real quick. So the people in front of me that they didn't have the collision with the deer. They ran over the deer in front of me, and they got out after we'd both been waiting a while. I was probably about maybe a quarter of a mile past them when I pulled over, and they came up and out of the blue were just like, hey, we're getting our car towed right now. We just wanted to check on, and the lady knocked on the window and rolled down. She started talking, and she's like, Scotty from Scott and Hands. She was a diehard listener.
She recognized
and she knew everything about the show. Her lovely husband, she had 2 kids with her that are college-age kids, and they couldn't have been nicer. And we sat for a good half hour while waiting for my tow truck and just shooting the bull about Utah State, about BYU, about Utah, the Jazz, everything. And I'm like, man, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good people, super nice, and they love the radio show. And I'm telling you.
Do you think they got took by the tire place?
I don't know, but there was another car in that parking lot that had 2 flat tires.
Dang. It might have been them.
It could have been them.
Yeah, that's too bad.
But, by the way, shout out to them. You're awesome. Please send me a DM on Twitter. I would love to take care of you guys. Plus, I might need your police report for insurance because I didn't call police.
Yeah, because insurance is going to.
But I know they called the police. So if you guys could send me a DM on Twitter or Facebook, I would really appreciate it because I might need to steal some information from you.
Before we move
borrow some information from you.
Before we move on to this BYU basketball game, do you have just a little bit more empathy for me hitting the ladder now?
Well, at no point did I feel like I was going to die.
Okay, but did you call 911?
No, I did not call 911. I probably should have.
Lloyd's still checking.
I should have, just
a 911
to get the
call
police record.
Yeah, you should have. No, if you got the people right there,
that's what I think. The police were already there, and the officer came and I talked to him, so there's got to be a record of me having a conversation with him about the deer and stuff. So.
Man, I wish there was a 911 call.
Not everybody just calls 911 willy-nilly, old willy-nilly.
Hey, Lloyd.
I didn't want to tie up the line.
If that
For
deer
a real emergency.
If that deer was in the middle of I-15 and causing all kinds of problems, you probably called 911.
And by the way, I tweeted out about what happened.
Yeah.
And there were 2 or 3 people who responded like, yeah, we saw that. And one guy said, I hit it, my car's fine. Another guy goes, I barely missed it, almost got in a wreck swerving. Like, this is a big old deer that was right in the middle of the road. Sorry. And
big deer.
Big deer.
Was it a buck? Was it the horns that popped your tires?
I may have been. When I did not go and take a look at it, the people that I was talking to that listened to the show, they said, it's a deer, but we can't really tell much else. It's been ran over a few times.
Is he going to be okay?
If I don't get this pie in me. I haven't eaten since 10 o'clock, so my blood sugar and triglycerides are a little bit off.
I'll be all right.
I got half of a Sally pocket in my car, and I'll eat that. I'll get that in my system.
So glad you survived.
I should have just called 911 just for fun. Just to even it up a little bit.
To think this show almost was without a host for life.
I know, and we just barely started the show when you called, and we almost lost you.
Do you realize how lowbrow it is for the two of you to play those?
I'll wait around until some of these units arrive, but I got to get this pie in me.
Yeah, you sound pretty distraught.
Oh, we have not played that for too long. Oh, man.
Don't be mad.
Don't
be mad.
Lloyd, I hope you hit a ladder going home today. I hope you hit a ladder going home today. I hope you swerve and fishtail.
He's like, if Olema were here, he'd want a brake drum going through your windshield. Now, that guy, he did almost die.
He did.
Scotty, we talked about this. I hit that ladder square, blew both my tires, fishtailed, nearly rolled, saw the ladder fly out from under my car. It hit the car behind me. And I was like, oh, I've got to call the cops because I got to get this ladder off the freeway. And I wasn't going to go out there and try to stop traffic.
You got a rattler on your knee. Now, that's Olema's 911 call.
That's a real scream of pain.
That's a man that's seen his arm hang by a single ligament, just dangling with blood squirting everywhere like it's the first 5 minutes of NCIS. And it was pretty brutal. And that's a true, authentic scream.
Both of us had the near death rate.
Yo, well,
if my car would have rolled, I'd have been dead.
Yeah.
And who knows what that ladder could have gone through somebody's windshield.
One was worried about his arm hanging there. The other one worried about us. A pie.
And the other one had the sense of mind to say, and I'm by Grinders where you can get 2-for-1 subs.
Well,
text the keyword.
The constant professional.
Text the keyword A game for your
I
chance.
haven't eaten since 10 o'clock, so my blood sugar and triglycerides are a little bit off.
This is fresh shaved turkey. It's fresh shaved turkey right off the roast.
Grinders.
All their produce is locally sourced. It's really good, Grinders.
Local farmers provide the tomatoes and lettuce.
Okay, so I had the wherewithal to eat pie. Now, he did a read. So
yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Come on.
I mean, that man, Mr. Mack has no idea what they have in their arsenal.
Lloyd, we got to do some research. We got to find if Scotty actually did call, and he's just sheepish to tell us.
That could actually be true. He would not tell us.
No,
so
you would
I will
not.
do a little bit of digging.
All right. Well, I can neither confirm nor deny a call was made. All right, Hans and Scotty, I know I've talked way too long. You don't want to hear about my nonsense, but let's get to it. Time for your starting lineup.
This is Hans and Scotty G.
Let's go.
The lineup is set, and it's time to kick off the show with the biggest topic of the day. This is the starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You know, Hans, it's a Tuesday near the end of the college football season, so you'd think we'd be talking Utes, Cougars, football, big one, BYU, Texas Tech. But no, A.J. Dybantsa and the Traveling Cougar Show in basketball made their debut last night in Las Vegas against Villanova and came away with a W.
And they did it on TNT, so they did it on a big national stage, and everybody's home. They don't have football that's – well, there was Monday Night Football, but, man, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Holy cow, the Cowboys.
And a lot of people couldn't access some of it because of the provider.
Yep.
So that's off, too.
Yeah, ESPN?
No, TNT.
Oh, no. He was talking about Monday Night Football, though.
Monday Night Football was off because of the new YouTube issues. But this was – the Cowboys are so bad. Did you see Stephen A. Smith was in the booth with the owner of the Cowboys.
With Jerry?
With Jerry Jones. Have you seen this video?
World-renowned cowboy hater Stephen A. Smith's hanging out with Jerry
Jones.
Wow.
The Cowboys fumble. Game's not over. Stephen A. stands up, taps Jerry on the shoulder, shakes his hand, and leaves. Wow. Lloyd, was that AI? Am I getting...
No, he fumbled the ball. You could see Jerry get visibly upset about the fumble, and then they cut back to it again, and you see Stephen A. Tap him on the shoulder and be like, and essentially dap Jerry Jones.
Wow.
And left before the game was done. But anyways, this was on TNT. I thought they did a great job. They had a lot of different packages put together, and a lot of times with BYU on major networks, the other team gets all the pub and praise.
Yeah.
But when you got A.J. Dybantsa, the number one recruit in the country, projected potentially as the number one NBA draft pick, the TNT crew had put together a lot, and they were focusing on him. And it was kind of a unique, different angle watching BYU basketball, because it's typically like, oh, here's the Generals. Who are the people that used to play against the girls?
Yeah, the Washington Generals.
Here's the Washington Generals. But take a look at this UNC team. But I thought they did a pretty good job of highlighting some of the things A.J. Dybantsa was doing. Dybantsa ended up as the team leading scorer with 21 points. He had 6 rebounds, 3 assists. It was a really great night. Some of my observations of A.J., his length is very unique.
Oh, yeah.
And his length allows him to do things defensively that a lot of players can't do. He'll stay high at times, then he'll drop extremely low. It's kind of interesting the way he uses his body. He knows how long he can reach, how far he can kind of extend his arms, and how much of a step that he's got to get into a lane. And he manages his body really well for as young as he is. But that length allows him to do things defensively, keep him out of foul trouble, keep him in the lane, constantly tipping and touching and making things really difficult for offensive players. So I liked what I saw from him defensively too.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. When you look down that roster, there's other guys that are going to really make that thing go. AJ's going to get all the pub. I mean, let's. There's no other way around it. Like, he's going to get all the pub. But there are some key players that are going to play some key roles for this team, and it was nice to see those guys step up as well. And so this is not a one-man traveling show. This is a team in every sense of the way, in every sense of the definition, and they're going to be a tough out.
They're going to be really tough. And so, yeah, to your point, a couple of things on that. I thought that Rob Wright looked really good, 14 points, 3 rebounds, and assists. I thought he looked really good. But offensively, this is definitely going to circle A.J. Dybantsa. But there's one guy that I think is kind of the driver in that car, because everybody's got kind of an A.J. Dybantsa. Now, he is definitely separating himself, and he's an incredible basketball player. But everybody's got, well, your top 30, top 40 teams, they've got that unique, incredible offensive person out there. They've got a guard that's going to facilitate that person. They've got a bench player that's going to bring the energy. But you know what most teams don't have is a Keba Keita.
Yeah, yep.
He's the difference, in my opinion.
And it was good to see A.J. Dybantsa really single him out in the postgame, too. Like, that a dude's ability to park his butt in the lane and alter shots at the rim. It may not show up he'll have his block shots, and he'll have a bunch of blocks in the scoreboard or in the box score, but there's going to be a ton of shots that he's going to alter that aren't going to show up in a stat sheet, but his impact on the game is ridiculous.
A ton of block shots and a ton of rebounds.
Yep.
Critical rebounds. I just feel like his game, because of his overall size and strength, his game just changes things for BYU. And he, you know who he reminds me a little bit of, but I think he's even a better player. Well, I don't know, but Serge Ibaka a bit. There's a bit of a Serge Ibaka vibe that I get when I'm watching him.
You're not the first person to say that.
You've heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
He's just a monster. He's kind of a machine out there. Young Serge Ibaka was a beast.
Yeah, yep.
Serge stayed in the league a long time, but young Serge was incredible.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
It's a much-needed bye week for the Utes as they get set for the final stretch of the 25 season. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is a Tuesday. Hans, you know what that means. It's a Jazz Ticket Tuesday.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, and your chance to win tickets is right now.
Call this number now.
Call this number now.
Be caller number 12 at 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-ZONE. And you'll be on your way to Delta Center to see the Utah Jazz.
He fires the three. He hits. Oh, don't do me like that.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Caller number 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. You've got 2 tickets to see the Jazz and the pesky Minnesota Timberwolves coming up on Monday, November 10th at Delta Center. All right, so I believe, was it Pete Thamel who first reported it, that LJ Martin is going to be a go on Saturday, barring a last-minute issue. BYU looks to have their running back against Texas Tech.
Thamel's pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
He's typically very accurate with his injury reports, and because there's just no reason for him to go to X on a random football team and suggest that a running back's going to be available.
No, he's not going to put that. There's nothing really to gain, but a whole lot to lose on that one.
Ton to lose. So my guess is he's got a source, and he's going with that source. So good for you, Pete, and good for BYU if this is true. Couple of things to think of. So LJ Martin goes down in that Iowa State game. I am still shocked that they found a way out of that game without LJ Martin. Because without LJ, you get pretty one-dimensional, and that puts a lot of weight on your true freshman quarterback, Bear Bachmeier, to go out there and pass the ball around and try to find a W. And that's exactly what Bear did. Passed the ball around, had a couple of keepers, had one big run, really did some amazing things. He was the leading rusher in that game. 12 carries, 49 yards, and a touchdown for Bear Bachmeier against Iowa State. So it put a ton of weight on Bear, and he answered the call and found a way to get out of Ames, Iowa, with a win over a very good Iowa State team.
Yep, no doubt.
It's still shocking to me. Now, there's a big difference between Iowa State's defense and Texas Tech's defense. I think if you get one-dimensional on Texas Tech, I have to imagine they can find a way to win. Their defense is just too good. The number one run-stopping defense in the country at 74 yards a game.
Not number one in the conference. No, number one in FCS football.
In FCS football, in the run-stop defense. They're number 10 in defense overall at 271 yards. They give up about 190 yards of passing. They've given up 8 passing touchdowns so far this season.
It's crazy.
Still,
numbers.
That's the number 36 passing defense in the country. So the point I'm trying to draw here, the importance of LJ Martin, if you get one-dimensional against Texas Tech, even though Aaron Roderick has been nothing short of genius with his offensive play calling, Texas Tech will scheme you out. They will beat you up. They've got too good of a pass rush to think that you can just sit there, even if you're going to move pockets and run into play actions. They've got too good of a pass rush. They get in the backfield way too much. They're number 6 in the country in tackles for a loss. They've put together 67 tackles for a loss. They average 7.5 TFLs per game. They've got 28 sacks on the year. They've got 11 more sacks on the year than BYU at this point.
Wow.
They're over 3 sacks a game.
That's a huge number. I mean, the 7.5 TFLs is a big number. 3.5 sacks a game is crazy.
So okay, this is the point that I'm really trying to get to. The numbers are crazy. The personnel is crazy. So if you come in one-dimensional, as good as you got this true freshman playing, as good as Aaron Roderick is, as good as this offense kind of patchworked after they lost LJ Martin, you can't get by Texas Tech without LJ Martin. And I'm talking about LJ Martin at an 85%. You got to have him actually carrying the ball. He can't just be a flare.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. This isn't a decoy because you're not going to win this game with the threat of LJ Martin being like, oh, he could do this. No, he has to go out and do it.
You've got to get LJ Martin production.
Yeah.
He's got to be somewhere around 70, 80 yards. He's got to find a way to break those arm tackles, press through those tackles, and get those 3-4 yards after hit. That's what he's done all year. And it's made a world of difference. So he's got to find a way to do that. He had 122 yards against University of Utah. Their best win so far was against Utah. I think that's their best win. Best team that they've beat.
Agreed.
He had 122 yards against that Utah defense. And you know that's a really good Utah defense. Now, they're not the number one run-stop team in the country. In fact, their rushing stop has been lower this year than it's been in years past. But he broke arm tackles, went for extra yards. Now, a couple of other thoughts defensively. Texas Tech has the best linebacker in the country. Jacob Rodriguez is the best linebacker in the country. He's got 77 tackles on the year already, and he's forced 7 fumbles, and I think he's got 1 or was it 2 interceptions on the year. He is Mr. Turnover. I was looking at his career turnovers. I think he's got, was it 13? Some crazy numbers in forced fumbles and interceptions. Forced fumbles that led to recoveries and interceptions. So Jacob Rodriguez is a major force. And then they've got David Bailey. He's the number 1 sack artist in the country right now. And he does it. He's a versatile he's a versatile pass rusher. He'll take inside rush. He'll take bull rush. He'll hit you with spin moves, and he can hit you with speed. David Bailey's put together 11.5 sacks so far this season, and he's another guy that will exploit you if you go one-dimensional. And then they've got a good defensive backfield. As I mentioned, they've got Bryce Pollock, who's already got 4 interceptions on the year. So this isn't a team that you come in with patchwork offense. This isn't a team that Aaron Roderick can sit there with a couple of other brilliant minds in the room and try to game plan around this defense.
So there's been 3 teams that have eclipsed 100 yards over Texas Tech in Big 12 play, rushing. Kansas State got 126, but only 4 yards a carry. Let's see. Houston went for 103 at 3.4 yards a carry, and Utah went for 101, 3.2 yards a carry. BYU not only needs to run the ball at, I would say, magic number 140, 150, but you've got to be well over 4 yards per carry.
I think that in order to beat them, and I know Arizona State, Sam Levitt, he threw for 3, what did he throw for? 3-something, 320 or 340 against Texas Tech. He was able to get it going in the pass game.
But they ran the ball. Arizona State ran the ball 36 times against Texas Tech and only got 75 yards. 36 carries.
What was their average?
2.08 yards per carry.
And they found a way to win. But they did it with the best receiver in the world.
And up until that point, one of the best quarterbacks in the conference.
And one of the best quarterbacks in the conference. Which does make you feel like, okay, well, maybe there's a window. Okay, so with those numbers in mind, I think that rushing total for this BYU offense has to be closer to 160.
Yeah, nobody's come close to that. The closest was last week, Kansas State at 126. So, and by the way, I'm not saying BYU can't do that. I think BYU is capable, especially if LJ Martin is healthy.
Number 15 rushing offense in the country, 217 yards average.
Yeah.
I'm calling for 160.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up next, another edition of What You May Have Missed. And then the great Ian Fitzsimmons will join us at 105 right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Let's go! Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. It doesn't get much bigger than this. BYU and Texas Tech, your home for the best coverage of Cougar football, is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Time for another edition of What You May Have Missed. Alex Jensen making his debut as the head coach of the University of Utah. They get the win over San Jose State, a little closer than they probably would have liked, 84-75 over the Spartans. Utah State plays Westminster, and, they opened up a can there, 110-54. Against Westminster.
What'd you see from the boys? Who stood out?
A lot of depth. By the way, you know who's playing really well? He had just 4 points, but 6 rebounds and 9 assists. Mr. Westlake himself, Drake Allen.
Drake has taken a path to get to where he's at.
Yes, he has. Walked on at Snow, and then went to Southern Utah, then UVU, and now finishing up at Utah State.
He has taken a very long path, but he's developed all along the way. Comes from a great family, the Drake family, amazing people, family friends, and we've known him for a lot of years, and I'm not surprised Drake is doing what he's doing right now.
MJ Collins, the transfer from Vanderbilt, though, 23 points, 9 of 11 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. This is a guy you're going to want to keep a very close eye on.
Might be a difference maker.
Yeah. He is. He scores in bunches, and he had 23 on the night. Another transfer, Colby King had 16. True freshman, Elijah Perriman had 10. And but yeah, it's going to be a fun team. And Mason Falslev can just sit back and be like, all right, I'll put up 9 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. So this Utah State team showed a lot last night, and they're going to be really fun to watch. All right, Hans and Scotty, Ian Fitzsimmons is going to join us coming up here in just a moment right here on The Zone.